How's it going, everybody? Driver 53 here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new game Farming Simulator 25, but more specifically, GPS. Yes, GPS is now base game. Guys, I learned a lot playing over the last couple hours, and I'm going to go ahead and show you what I found out and give you a couple disclaimers and warnings about things that you're not able to do or specific ways that you got to do things. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. And the first thing that you need to know is that GPS in Farming Simulator 25 is more of like GPS and crossplay put together, but it's not like fully GPS or horseplay put together. A little bit of difference here. And what I mean by that is you're in the field right now and you're kind of thinking that you might want to go ahead and hire a worker or do this yourself. You're not sure which one you're going to do. Well, the first thing you have to do is go ahead and hold your circle on your controller, or if you're on the keyboard, go ahead and hold down H. That's going to bring up your menu here. You've got two different options. You could do the AI worker, or you could toggle this over and do the steering assist. As you can see, both of them right now look the same, but that's not always the case on all of these fields. We're on a rectangle field right now, so it's going to look that way, but be careful on irregular shaped fields. It looks a little bit different. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Next thing you got to worry about, working width, that should be automatically selected. The 6 meter is what we're at right now, and that's because we have a 6 meter header on here right now. Now this does change depending on what equipment you have, but it should automatically select that based on what you have attached to the vehicle that you're trying to use. Number of headlands. This changes also. The minimum number of headlands that you can do, it goes all the way, like I saw 15 on one of the other operations that I was trying to do, but here on harvesting, it's minimum 2. And I think that's so it gives enough room around the outside so that the worker can actually do their job. And you can see that we went all the way up to 5. You don't need to do anything to like reconfigure this. As soon as you make a change, it's automatically going to give you a brand new set of lines. Now, if we come back up here and go to steering assist, you can see that I'm still on 2. It did not update this. So if I want to go to 5, well, guess what? I have 5, but I also have 6 now as well, right? So be careful about that. If you want to kind of do the same route between your worker and you going back and forth on the thing, make sure you're setting it up the exact same. Now you can see that I've got 5 there and I've got 5 here, and that's going to be the same. But if I were to come down here and actually make this 6, well, guess what? Now my lines are going to be just a little bit off. So if I set my worker off, they might not harvest everything if I started myself here doing all the headlands. Now, the next thing to look at is your headlands. All right, headland management. Do you want to do those yourself, or do you want a worker to do it for you? If you want the worker to do it, leave it turned on. And if you want to do the headlands yourself, make sure you turn this off. Now, start with, that's going to be important only if you're on the headlands. If you've got headlands turned on, it's the only time this matters. You could either start in the middle or you could start on the outside. Number of skipped lines also. This is an interesting one. Not sure exactly why this matters a whole lot right now, but you could actually skip some lines. I don't see an option on here to have more than one vehicle right now, so be careful with that. I think you just leave it on and let them do their thing, right? Once you've got it the way that you want it, all you have to do is hit OK, and then it comes back out here to your vehicle. Now, I've already got it turned on, but you don't have to. You could actually have your vehicle turned off, and then all you're going to do to activate your AI worker is just press circle, and that's it, or H on your keyboard. And they're going to go and they're going to do their own thing. Now, they're trying to get relined back up to the beginning part of the field. Then they can see that we've already got a little bit taken off here, and then they are going to go ahead and go. Now, I do have my windrow activated, so I'm going to be getting a little bit of straw here as well. I'm going to come back here in a little bit once this worker does a little bit more work and show you how to use that baler over there. But before I do that, I want to show you a little bit of our cultivating and seeding. So as you can see right now, I've got the seeder. It is not a direct drill. So if I go here into my worker menu, you can see that it's going to show me every line that I need to take. All right. So I'm doing 3 headlands. It's 4.4 meters wide. We are good to go. If I go to steering assist up here at the top and want to do this myself, it's going to show me the exact same thing. Come back over to here. Well, now I can see that it's all good. I'm going to start with the headland, or I'm going to start in the middle part here, not the headland. Okay, so I want to start in the middle part of the field. So I'm going to hit OK. And now all I'm going to do, hit my circle again, and the worker is going to start to do something. And then they're going to realize that there actually isn't anywhere to be able to do this job at other than right there, right? That's the only spot. So they're going right there to be able to do it. I don't want that actually, right? If I didn't have that spot of ground already cultivated up, they wouldn't do anything for me at all because it's not able to be done. So if you get an error and it's like, hey, it can't do the job, maybe it's because something needed to be done before. And if I come over here to my challenger, I want to show you something about starting in the middle. Okay, so we are directly in the middle of the field, pretty well on the middle part from side to side. Okay, if I take a look here at my map, you can see that my lines are going up and down, not side to side. So I should be good to go here. I'm going to hit OK. And as soon as I hit go for my worker, watch what they're going to do. All right. They're going to take off. They're going to start doing their thing, but they're not going to go to one of the edges. All right. They're going to start right here in the middle of the field. They're going to pull up. They're going to back up now. And then they're going to go ahead and get started. Now, with course play, you could select a starting point. But in this, you just kind of get what you get. So be very careful with this. Make sure that if you really want to start on the outside of your field, you go ahead and set up your worker to start there. Okay, because this does not seem like it's going to be very intelligent about starting on the outside. It's just right where you are setting up the vehicle at. I know a lot of you guys are very interested in the grass work. So here we are with a couple mowers. Now we have a front mower and we have an offset rear mower. So exactly how is that going to work? Let's go ahead and take a look here at our menu. We've got the front mower attached right now. If I go ahead and come into here, you can see that it's going to set it up at a 3.4 meter working width. Now it's going to give me a ton of different lines here because it's just the way it is. Now this one, I could do 5 headlands again, and it's going to be good to go. It's going to be plenty of room, but it's going to really want me to make a lot more straight passes than passes around the outside. So now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect that mower, and we're going to hook up our rear mower. Okay. So now whenever I go into the worker menu, it's going to give me a different value because I'm at 3.9 meters now. And if I go down here to my number of headlands, you can see 7. Okay. So now we add 3.4 and 3.9. Now what I'm going to do, come up and attach here. And this should give me a little bit bigger working width, even still at 6.7. Come down here to my number of headlands. I can do 5 again. So it's kind of depending on what you have attached, on how many headlands it needs to give you. And if you have multiple tools attached, it's going to combine both of them together and not give you just the smallest one. So that's a really, really good thing. Now you may be wondering, what happens if I don't have the front mower and I've only got a rear mower? Well, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this right here. And this is going to be for the offset. And I'm going to face this way for a very specific reason, because I don't know if the worker is going to go that way or if the worker is going to go that way right there. Let's go ahead and set up our course here. We're going to go ahead and go over to 7 on the number of headlands. I'm going to hit OK. And now all I'm going to do is go ahead and just hire this worker. So you see the worker is in there now. They're putting the mower down. Which way are they going to go? Well, they're starting to turn right, but they're going to turn left. So that's right. The workers are intelligent enough to understand that they need to go that way, because then they're not going to have to worry about the tractor being on the outside of the field. And as you can see, whenever you get to some of these edges right here, if they're straight edges, the worker kind of does a little bit of a thing where it's got to stop and start. So if it's rounded edges, though, like that, they keep on going. So if you're making new fields, which we're going to go over in a future video, make sure you don't make perfectly straight edges. Make sure you make them a little bit rounded, because it's going to make your workers work a little bit easier. See right here, it is kind of doing the thing and turning, but right then it didn't. So we're going to have to play around with that a little bit. All right, the big question I know a lot of you are having, does this work with baling? Let's give it a go. I'm going to hop in here to my case Magnum, and I've got a Massey Ferguson baler attached to the back. I'm going to go ahead and unfold and put down my collector. We're going to go ahead and go right over here to the beginning part of this field, right about here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit my worker menu. And as you can see, there is no field detected for the preview if I want to use an AI worker. That's okay. I'm going to do this job myself, just like I did in Farm Sim 19 and 22, but I now have some lines that I can follow. Now my working width is 5 meters wide. That's not what I want. I don't want that at all. I want this to go up to 8 meters because that is how wide the header is on my harvester. Okay. Now I've got an 8 meter wide header. So that means that my lines should be lined up pretty well in line with what I've got going on with my straw. So if I come over here, well, I don't have anything. That's right. I need to actually turn them on again. I'm going to come down here and go to my steering assist, and I want to show lines to be on. All right, so here we go. And you can see that they are just a little bit offset. Okay, so just slightly, it's outside of where the windrow actually is. Well, how do I correct this? Because I know that's an 8 meter header over there. All right, well, what I got to do is come back here into my settings, and on my steering assist, I can actually come down here to my offset, and I'm going to go here to about 2 meters. Let's go ahead and set it there. Hit yes. Well, I went a little bit too far. So come back in here, and I'm going to go ahead and adjust this down to about 1.5. Okay, we're getting really, really close now. I'm going to go ahead and come down here to what I'm 1.2. All right, so that should put me directly in line with where I want to go. Okay, you can also see on the next one, it's going to be maybe just a little bit off. I'm not sure exactly why it does that, but I'm pretty sure that's an 8 meter header. You know what? I was wrong. It's only a 6 meter header. I mean, you got to pay attention to these details. All right. Let's jump back over here into the other tractor, and we'll go ahead and reset this back up for a 6 meter width. Then I shouldn't have to worry about any offset too much. All right. So we're going to go to 6 meter. I'm going to come back down here to my 0 on the offset, and you can see we're right on a line where we need to be. The white line there is showing that it's good too. I'm going to go and back up out of their way, let them do their thing. Hopefully they have enough room now, and then I will be able to go. Now, the really cool thing about doing this yourself, all you got to do is turn on your piece of equipment and then go ahead and hit your cruise. Now, I'm already picking up stuff, but I'm not in my line, right? What I need to do, just hit my circle, okay? Hit circle on my keyboard or on my controller, or H on my keyboard, and it's going to take over. I'm not doing any steering at all. And if I had a corner, it would go around the corner. But since I don't right here, it's going to just keep making this a straight line. Whenever I get to the end and I'm done with that little pass, I'm going to go ahead, flip around here, get going the other way. Whenever I get kind of close to being lined up, you can see like right here, it's saying, hey, do you want to be over there on that yellow line? Well, I do. And all I'm going to have to do is just hit this. It's taking me straight to that. You saw my wheels are now pointed in that direction. All I have to do now is hit my gas, and I'm going to start going forward. It's going to automatically correct. And if I hit cruise control, it's just going to do it for me as well. All right. So I don't have to worry about overcorrecting or anything like that. This is going to take care of every bit of that for me. So let's go and hit cruise again now that the worker is out of the way in the harvester. And you can see that's just how easy it is. Now, if I decide that I want to steer off of it, you can see that the line turned yellow now. All I got to do, get back onto it. Boom. There we go. Right. And it's only the line that I'm on right now. And my blue lines, those are actually my working widths as well. So sometimes that's important, sometimes not so important. Then I'm going to get down here to the end and going to do the exact same thing. Now, let's say that I wanted to come over and actually skip that one, and I wanted to start on this one. Well, pretty easy. All I got to do, line up right here, and then we are good to go. So I got my cruise set. It's going to go ahead and auto center again for me. We are good to go. All right. That is as simple as it is. Make sure that the working width that you have on the baler is the same as the header that you used for the harvesting of the crop. Remember earlier I said that if you had corners, your worker would just go ahead and go around it. Well, it's not the worker. Right now, it's just my GPS. My controller is out of my hands. I'm going to move the camera up here. You can see that it is going to go ahead and turn that little bit of a corner. Now, since it wasn't a perfectly straight corner, it kind of lost what was going on there with that other little bit. But all I have to do, turn into it just a little bit more. There it is. We are good to go. And now it's going to go ahead and follow that line again. So once again, if you're making fields, you're cleaning up fields, combining fields, make sure that your rounded corners, they're going to help you. They're going to help you so much. You definitely need to pay attention to rounding off your corners. Otherwise, you're going to be spending quite a bit of time resetting your GPS to the proper line. I moved fields over to a partially finished one now, and as you can see, I went ahead and used the 7150 here to get mostly everything out of this field. I had to unload into the trailer, and now I'm ready to get my worker going back again. So all I have to do is hop into my harvester here and bring up my worker menu, and you can see that everything is still good to go. So I'm going to hit OK, and I'm just going to go ahead and let them do their thing, and let's see exactly where they decide to go. So it looks like they're going to head over here to this portion of the field because that is sticking out the farthest. All right, well, I don't necessarily want that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and back them up, and let's see if I can get them to start back over here in this other section of the field that I just finished off on, because that makes a lot more sense to go ahead and finish, or to start off right here. So they're going to go and get back into position, and then they are going to go ahead and continue with the same map that we just had. Now, that's probably only going to work if you've got the exact same piece of equipment or width of equipment in the field. There is no saving any maps or anything like that. It's just automatically going to know what you want to do whenever you bring a piece of equipment here into the field. So this is not like course play, because there you can save and run multiple pieces of equipment using the exact same map. This one doesn't do that. So you're really going to have to pay attention to your working width and any offset or anything like that. The number of headlands, that's going to be important. I'm now standing in a grass field that I went ahead and mowed and did some baling in to test out how well the baling and the mowing works together. I jump in here, and if I take a look at my menu, you can see that I've got two headlands, right? They're 10 meters, and it's going along with the road. All right, that's the plane or the side of the field that all of my lines in the middle are running parallel to. All right, so that's the road at the very top, 10-meter wide. If I come over here into my baler and I want to do the exact same thing, I'm going to go here and I go to 10 meters on this, because that's exactly how wide everything, the mower is. But then you could see that the lines in the field don't actually match up with the road any longer. They're actually the bottom edge of the field. So my lines here, I wouldn't be following the same path that I did with the mower. All right. So a couple little things that I can actually do here. If I come down to my work direction, I can toggle this over to any number of degrees that I want. Well, I'm hoping that my field, or that my road up there is like 90 degrees. So if I come across here to 90 degrees, you can see that now it's going to be relatively the exact same. But if you look at the spacing, now I have a very narrow gap on the very top between my row and where my headland actually was. Okay, if I come back over into here and I want to look at the exact same thing, well, it's a full width. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have to play around with that offset a little bit to be able to get it to work. And that's really the only way that I've been able to find to get this to work properly. So be careful on irregular shaped fields, but I still think it's possible. All right, I've got a bunch of bales here in the field, and I want to see if I can actually pick them up, because with course play, I could just set the worker off and they would wrap them, or they would actually collect them. So I'm going to hold down the menu here, and I don't have anything, right? Even on the steering assist, it won't actually let me go to it. There is no option here at all to do anything with that. And if I switch over here, I'm going to get the exact same thing. I have no option to be able to do anything with this, with the GPS. All right. So collecting and wrapping, those are still going to have to be manual operations. And I was really hoping to be able to get something like this here in with this GPS, because that's what courseplay does. Courseplay allows me to be able to just set my workers off on their jobs. I'm now back over here on my grass field next to the river. I've got a really, really big field here, and let's say that I get to a point where I need to actually go do something in real life and I'm not able to play any longer. Well, what I got to do is go ahead and save my game. And when I come back, my workers get to start back up on their own. You can see we're down here at the bottom portion right here by the river in this big silo thing. I'm going to go ahead and save this game. And I'm not even going to exit out. I'm going to keep you guys here right now. I'm going to go ahead and quit. Do I really want to quit? Yes. So now the worker is down there in the bottom portion. All I'm going to do now is come back into my game saves. Once they come back up right here, I've got testing. You can see right there that the day 11/7, right? So I'm going to go ahead and come in here. That is the mod. and I'm going to go ahead and now start back in. You can see that I'm now at 17%, 20%. It's going to keep going. I'm going to keep talking because I want you guys to see and to not think that I'm tricking you or anything like that. I'm going to keep talking this entire time because this is a really cool feature, and I happened to find it by accident trying to do something a little bit different and testing another aspect here of the workers. So now you can see that we're at 97%. We are almost at 100%. Now we are at full 100%. You can see that I am standing right here. All right, worker B has stopped. No field found. Oh, is it not going to do it for me now? It did it a while ago, but not this time. No, look, my G worker is still going. That worker over in field number 84, the grass field, yeah, they're still working. So I'm going to go ahead, close down my mini map, bring up the real map. You can see that this worker right here, they are moving, and I have not done anything to start them back up. The game save, I loaded back in, and they are taking off all on their own. And to prove it, I will come over here. You guys can see, there we are, right? I didn't do anything to come over here. You were here the entire time with me. They went ahead and got started again. So be careful with that. If you're not expecting that and you jump back into a game after you save and you had workers going, they're going to keep working. And they're probably going to do something like this. Now, this is a test where I was trying to see exactly how many workers I could have in one field. 3 works, but they don't work well together. They all kind of have their own plan. But I saved the game, and I thought when I came back in, this field wasn't going to have anything done in it. And I was going to show you guys how it was going to work. And well, guess what? They all started saying, hey, we're hitting each other. And I'm like, wait, I don't have any workers going. Yeah, right here. This is how I found out. So be careful about that. If you did not intend on having a worker going when you came back in, make sure you stop that worker before you exit the game and save. Well, everybody, I know it's not exactly like GPS and Courseplay were in Farming Simulator 19 or 22, but it's still really, really close. And I'm super excited that now console players are going to get to enjoy this experience as well, because now console players and PC players are going to be able to jump in and play together on some servers. And speaking of servers, make sure you guys check out Gportal. They didn't sponsor this video, but I wanted to give them a shout out because they've been such tremendous partners here at the channel. Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to keep up to date on my future videos. While you're waiting on those future videos, go and check out one of these 2 right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.